Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back playing some Feed the Beast Horizons Daybreaker for episode 6. Now, last episode we set up our pneumatic tube system using blue power. We now have these pipes which are nicely chugging along, taking all of our ingots from our little ingot chest over here, right all the way around to our brand new ingots chest over here where all of our ingots reside. I did go ahead and do a little bit more mining since the end of last episode, which is why this thing is doing its job right about now. We've got a few ores processing, but today what I want to work on is we're going to kind of change gears a little bit and again jump into another mod that I haven't really played with before, and this is the first mod pack that I've seen it in, and that mod is Cascade. It's a kind of magic-like mod. I mean, I guess you could call it a magic mod, but it reminds me a lot more of Britannia than it does of something like Thorncraft, despite what the name might suggest. Now, this is a pretty cool mod. We're going to get into it a little bit today, but some of its more kind of advanced features will come later on down the line. What we do today might seem a bit pointless, but trust me, some of the really cool stuff we can do later on is kind of, well, later on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make basically what I like to call the Lexicon Britannia of this mod pack, which is basically the book that allows you to kind of look stuff up, see what things do, and kind of teaches you the mod pack, because it's a pretty complicated mod. Now, I can't see the book on here. However, I'm fairly certain I know how to make it. And to make it, the first thing we're going to need is a book. Now, sugarcane, we did get some. It is, yes, it's in there. I thought it would be. I'm pretty sure sugarcane is not going to get sorted into anywhere important. Now, we had some issues with the EE3 research book, and for some reason when I logged back in, diamonds were back in, so I started making some diamonds with all the stuff we had in here. It depends. Sometimes I log off and log back in, and some of these items disappear and reappear. It's a little glitchy. It's a little weird, but it's back now. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get ourselves some more sugarcane, because first of all, sugarcane is a pain in the backside to try and find in this world. And as I say that, I realize that as soon as we use this one sugarcane, it is going to disappear. So instead, what we are going to do is we are going to plant this thing. Now, I say that, and we have, like, next to no water around us. So instead, what we're going to do is, for now, we're going to move on. Because I think I know what I need to do. I'll tell you how to make the book. It's just a book. And then what is known as, for some reason, it's not showing everything in this mod. Let me see. If we go mods, and then we go Cascade, if we just click on that, shift click? Yeah, shift left click. It should bring up all the items from the mod. Now, it's not. Oh, no, wait, it is. Okay, so this is the book over here, the Encyclopedia Aura. This is the book I was going to make. This kind of, if you're starting with this mod fresh, this book is a good place to start. It kind of tells you about the mod, what it's for, what it does, and it kind of guides you through the basic steps. So I would recommend you make this. It's made using a book and an aura crystal. Now, I believe you can use any color aura crystal, but it does show white here, and white is the first one that we are going to make today. So we need to start things off by making some aura crystals. White aura crystals are made using some glass and a diamond, so it's a pretty hefty start to get started. You do need that one diamond to kick things off, and then all of the other crystals are simply made using a dye of some kind or a wall surrounded by those white aura crystals, and that's how you get those other crystals. I don't think we're going to need any other color that's not white for today, but we are definitely going to need to dive in and play with some of them later on down the line. Now, where would glass be? In here, alright? I believe glass should be in there, but I'm pretty sure it's in here. Or is it in our crafting table? It is nowhere? I'm fairly certain we have glass somewhere. Like, pretty sure. But apparently I'm pretty wrong. Okay, let's get ourselves some glass here real quick. And then we can go ahead and... Actually, do we have it here? We do, but obviously we need that one piece to get started here. Let's make ourselves a glass, and then let's go ahead and make a butt ton of it over in the condenser, so we can make ourselves some white crystals. There we go. Alright, let's flipping default vanilla furnaces, I tell you, they take far too long to smell anything decent. Alright, let's throw you in there, get rid of the diamond. You can go in there. I'm going to take out this diamond as well, because there's really no point in keeping it. Glass is worth 1 EMC. We're going to get like 6,000 glass in like 2 seconds here, so we'll just go boom, boom, and boom. Okay, there we go. We're getting glass. Let's do... Actually, I don't think it matters if we do this. Let's just go ahead and wait until we have 8. Thank you very much. When we come back, we'll probably have like 1 billion, but that's fine. We can never have too much glass. So, let's get started here, and let's get ourselves our first set of crystals. So we're going to do this, and we're going to go ahead and do this. Now, the cool thing is these do actually have an EMC, which surprised me, because most of the things in this mod pack don't actually have an EMC if they're from, like, a different mod. Most of the modded stuff doesn't. Like, if we look at Let's say the paint cans, they don't have any EMC. If we look at the tools here, they don't have any EMC. It surprised me that these guys have an exchange value, which is nice. It means it's easier to make them. And I think the first thing, or one of the first things we should do is we'll set one of these aside to put into, actually we'll set 2 aside so that we can go ahead and research it in the research table and then have one that we can duplicate if we so wish, because we don't really want to be spending all that many diamonds on making a ton of those. Now, once you've got yourselves your first set of aura crystals, the first thing you're going to want to make is an aura node, which again sounds very similar to Thorncraft, but is actually not. And to make an aura node, you need a block of redstone and some glass panes. You're going to need quite a few of these, so I would recommend getting quite a bit of redstone before you actually try and start this. Thankfully, we have an absolute ton of redstone, and thankfully redstone is pretty cheap in this mod pack as well. 32 EMC, which is not that much at all. Let's go and grab a little bit more glass. We should really just make some more pipes and move this inside. That would actually be a really good, like, a decent idea. If we just pipe this round and put it, like, here so that we don't have to walk outside every time we want to use our table there. We can even pipe it all the way under the floor there, because really, those pipes are not that expensive. I might look into doing that between episodes. Anyway, let's get ourselves some glass panes here. Boom and boom. And we'll take quite a few of those, and we will try, and we'll make ourselves our first aura node. So we are going to need some blocks of redstone. I'm going to start with, let's see, how many? 7. Let's make 7. Let's make 7 aura nodes, and see where it goes. I haven't actually calculated how many we do need. Apparently we're making 7? Yeah, no, 6. We're making 6. Okay, so aura nodes. Now, the way this works, I'm going to do this outside because we're going to need quite a bit of vertical space. I think I'm going to make like a little magic tower somewhere and make it look like really cool and build a different building for some of this stuff. But for now, we'll do it outside because there isn't really enough space inside. And just to kind of start off, I'm going to show you how these work. So, if we throw down 2 aura nodes like this, boom and boom, you'll see they connect. If they are in line vertically in any way, you'll see this little like connection. If I break this guy here and put him back down, he should make the connection between both of these aura nodes. Like so. Boom. So you can see that he is able to connect to both of those aura nodes. And basically the way this works is if we grab ourselves one of these aura crystals and we just simply right click, you will see it says white aura stored. So each one of these is worth a certain amount of white aura inside an aura node, each one of these crystals. And instantly, as soon as you put some white aura into one of these aura nodes, it will instantly begin to start, like, dispersing it amongst all of the other aura nodes that can connect to. So it's going to start and try and equalize the amount that's in each section. It's going to try and reach an equilibrium so that all of the aura nodes have about the same amount of aura in them. And this is actually really important to how the pack functions. You'll see this is on 410, 295, 295. It's kind of evened out a little bit. It's not perfect. You can see it's still kind of trying. It's gone down to 4. It's still at 410. It'll keep trying. It'll keep trying to get to equilibrium. It'll never quite get there. You'll probably see this animation forever and ever. But that's kind of the basics of how this works. Now, one of the things that we are going to do here is we are going to go ahead and we are going to make ourselves a block. And the block that we are going to make is called the Cascading Processor. This is made using 5 of these aura crystals and 4 furnaces. Really easy to make and required basically to progress with this mod because we are going to need some specific ingots that can only be made in this mod pack using the Cascading Processor here. So, let's grab some cobblestone. Let's make ourselves a bunch of furnaces. There we go, boom, or ferni, as Nick likes to call them, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and let's go, and I was going to put them down outside, that is not at all how that works. Let's go ahead and put them in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, with 5 of our crystals, like so, and that gets us one of these cascading processors. Now, the way that you would power this, if we throw this down, let's throw it down here. The way that you would power this, you'll see it says progress 0 out of 60, and it says power per progress 150, last power 0. Now, it's got a bit of a weird power system, but the way that you power this, I'm going to break this one here real quick, is via dropping this white aura onto the aura node. Now, that may sound a bit weird, but you'll kind of see what I mean. Now, you'll notice then, when we put all those aura nodes down, they were dispersing the aura, the white aura, horizontally. They were doing it from here to here. If I was to put one of these above, it wouldn't transmit. If I was to put one of these here, like that, and kind of break this, these two would not try and reach equilibrium. Aura cannot travel upwards. It only likes to travel downwards. So if I put one in here, it would go to here. But if I put, like, you can see the 340 in there is not going up. However, if I was to put one in here, you will see it does go down. It's going to drop all. It's actually going to drop all of it, I believe, down into the bottom there. And you can see, yeah, it's dropping it down as far as it can go. And by dropping that aura, we're actually making power. Look at that. We have reached 9 out of 60, and it's going up. The power is like increasing, I guess. The cool thing is you don't actually lose any aura. All of the white aura is still stored inside of this. So it's not like you have to keep making these crystals. You could really get away with making one and then just dropping it forever and ever and ever. Now, the question is, how do I get it from this one back up to drop it again? Because once you drop it, it'll generate more power. All we need to do is have it go back up, come around and drop again, and that is where some of these special little aura nodes come into play. And the one we're going to make to start with is the burning aura pump. This is kind of like the basic one. This is the one that uses coal to move aura. And aura's kind of like the power source in this mod. It's kind of like the redstone flux, the EU, the V in Thaumcraft, and like the mana in Britannia. It's kind of like that. If you think about it like that, that's probably an easier way to think about it. So we're going to make the burning aura pump. This is made using some iron, some lapis, and another aura node. We should have all of those things. Let's grab some iron. We need 6 of you. Let's grab some lapis. We need 2 of you. I was going to say 4 of them, but we need 2 of you. Let's go ahead and go boom, boom. We have lapis here, boom, and aura node in the middle. That's going to make us a burning aura node. Like I said, this has the power. We'll take some wood, and we'll use wood as fuel for now, to move the white aura from inside an aura node up. And the way it does that is if we go ahead and stick it down right about there, you'll see it instantly. Like these two are, because they're horizontal, we'll try and reach an equilibrium. You will see this now has white aura in it. And then if we go ahead and build another aura node up here, and we're going to put it on the same level as this one. So we're going to put it right about there, because now these two can share. What we're going to do is if we throw some fuel at this guy, you can see it's on 1,327 aura. If we throw some fuel at it, like this, it will take the fuel, and it will start to send the aura up, going against what you can normally do. And then this aura sends it over to here. This one then drops it. And this is how it works. This is a little, like, infinite system that's going to loop the aura round and round and produce power for the cascading processor. Like I said, it's a bit of a weird system. It's not the most traditional, but I think it looks kind of cool. And the higher up you put these, by the way, I believe the more power it generates when they drop the aura down. So this thing is now getting power. And in order to actually get what we want out of this, because if we go ahead and look in here, the next thing that we're going to make is this guy here, the Vortex controller. And this is made using 3 gold, 5 of these arcane red ingots, and a diamond. And the arcane red ingots unfortunately don't have an NEI recipe, which is a bit of a pain. It took me a while to figure out how these work. But basically, all you gotta do is drop a red wool, or any colored wool, because there are a bunch of different colored arcane ingots. Basically drop the arcane ingot color of wool that you want to get with an iron ingot next to the arcane processor, and it should work. So where is all of that wool that we got last episode? It is here. Let's go ahead, and we should, I believe, have some red dye left. So let's grab you, and also we should probably research that so we can get more red dye in the future, because we're definitely going to need more than 1 of these red dye, because we need at least 5 of those red arcane ingots. But if we take that and we take 1 iron and we drop them on top or next to the arcane processor, it should go ahead and give us 1 red arcane ingot. Let's see if this works. Again, it's going to use the power from this little loop that we've got here, and you do have to make sure that this guy continually has power, so we're going to have to drop that on again there. There are other ones of these you can get, by the way. If we look in here, there is a, let's see, there is a momentum one, which I believe you can fire arrows at. Only the projectile one allows you to fire arrows at. The momentum one, you can drop mobs onto. So, like, if you drop a zombie onto the aura node, it will generate power like that, instead of having to have the coal drop there. Illuminator, you can put things like glowstone in it. Torches, I think, or stuff like that. So there are a bunch of different aura nodes you can use to move aura upwards and kind of make this little closed loop system. This one is at 31 out of 60. I think we need about 45-ish to make this work. I'm not too sure, but let's try this. Let's put you down. We can drop them anywhere near, I believe. Like if we drop it there, and we wait. Let me see if I can see this making anything. It's at 45 now. I believe these won't despawn, by the way, so I think you are fine. I think the blocks in Aura Cascade make it so that all the items around it won't despawn. They might even require full power in order for it to work, but it is almost there, so we can go ahead and wait a second. There we go, we're at 60, and voila, there we go. It took it all the way down to 0, so that did take a while. It is going to take a while to get this, but we now have 1 arcane red ingot. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to move these aura nodes pretty high up, like as high as I think I'm not going to go to max block height, because I'm not quite sure if there's a limit on this, but I'm going to move them probably about 10, 15 blocks upwards. I'm going to do this a few more times. I'm going to get 5 of these red arcane ingots, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so approximately 100 million hours later, and we look to be good to progress. So since I couldn't wait, it's been quite a while actually, the process here is pretty slow, but basically what I've gone ahead and done is added a second cascading processor, 2 more of these aura nodes, exact same process, all of the aura is being split nicely and sent to both of them, so they're both working at the same time. I was trying to get it done twice as fast, but we now have 5 of these arcane red ingots, and we have 32 of these arcane blue ingots. They are the ones that took so flipping long to get done, but they are now done. I've also gone ahead and planted the sugarcane. Oh wow, it's actually grown one. This thing took forever. I will take one of those. And I also went ahead and taught our Tome of Arcane Knowledge quite a few more of the recipes here, so we can now make things like red dye, blue dye, red wool, blue wool, all that kind of stuff, as well as normal wool, and of course these aura crystals that are white. So we now have quite a few more of those as well, which is pretty nice. We'll go ahead and put that back in there to keep it going for a while. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and use all of these arcane ingots that we've just made. So, as I mentioned earlier, the first thing that we're going to go ahead and make is the Vortex table? The Vortex controller. Close enough. That requires some gold, a diamond, and those ingots that we just made. And I believe it looks something like this, if I'm not mistaken. Boom, boom, and boom. That gets to the Vortex controller. Now, the next thing we're going to need, and kind of the thing that goes along with the Vortex controller, is this guy here, the Vortex pedestal. This is made using an aura node and 8 arcane blue ingots. We need 4 of these, 1 for each side of the Vortex controller, so we're going to need a few more aura nodes, which means we're going to need quite a bit more redstone. We'll take another stack. I did manage to keep a bit of glass before I started making some of the white crystals outside, so we'll go ahead and do this song and dance again. We'll take, like, flipping as many of those as we can get, and we'll go ahead and make ourselves a few more aura nodes once we get ourselves a few more redstone blocks. I think 8 should be pretty nice. We might even have to make a few more before the episode is done, but for now, let's do this, and let's take 4 of these. So, basically, the way this works, let's head outside and let's try and set this up. It's a little wacky, and where I'm going to set it up now is going to be temporary, but the idea is you put this down, and then on all 4 sides, you throw down a Vortex pedestal. Now, this can be used to make some really cool stuff. And the way we do this is we need to do kind of the similar thing. We're going to drop aura onto these Vortex pedestals. That is going to provide power, and once they reach a certain amount of power, we can use them to craft things. For example, I think this is going to be the easiest way to explain how this works is going to be with an example. For example, we can use this little pedestal to turn rotten flesh into leather, which is a very traditional, like, recipe. A lot of mods do this, but this is just a basic one. We can do this for a lot of things. The basic recipe we can do is turning rotten flesh into leather. So if I put 4 rotten flesh on these pedestals, and we look at the middle, it says making leather, and then it says power received 0 out of 10,000 is what it says right now. So we need to drop 10,000 onto here, 10,000 essence. And as I said before, it doesn't actually use up the white aura. That doesn't get used up. It will simply drop down onto these, which are essentially kind of aura nodes in themselves, and work the same, but they're also a pedestal. So if we drop aura onto these, it will provide power to the Vortex controller, but then it will also pass the aura background to any nearby aura nodes. So what we need to do to start with is we need to drop some aura onto these things. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to kind of just build up from here. I tried going higher. I think you might not be able to go, like, too far away. This is about 10. When I tried 15, it didn't work. 10 might be the max. I'm not too sure. But let's try going 10 here. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then we'll go 10, like that. And then we'll go ahead and we'll throw these down nearby as well. We'll put down the one there, and the one there, and the one there. We can fill all those up with aura nodes, and these are all going to be used to drop aura down to the bottom there. Now, we'll probably, let's see, can I grab that? I don't think I can. We're most likely going to need one in the middle here as well, and you'll see why again just in a second. Let's take this guy and stick it in the middle, because we're going to have one, we're going to have that guy down there, pumping aura up into this one, and then that one's only going to send it to that one. If we put one here, the aura is going to get spread between all 4 of these, which is exactly what we want. So now the aura is being spread all nicely. We're making a bit of a mess here, but I'm also going to need this one. If you don't mind, let me just pick you up. Thank you very much. And you are going to go in place of where the last guy just went. You're going to go right here, and this is going to accept the aura from the push up aura node, or whatever it's called, the one that pushes aura up, and then that one is going to send the aura, of course, over to this guy, who's going to share it with this guy, who's going to share it with all 4 of them, who are all going to drop the aura onto the pedestals below. So that's the system we have set up. Like I said, it's a little bit wacky, and it seems a little expensive for turning rotten flesh into leather, but trust me, it will be worthwhile in the long run. We'll go ahead and kind of see if we can get this to work. Let's get rid of all of you. And then finally, what we need to do is, once all the aura has dropped, we need even more aura nodes that are ready to take the aura from these pedestals and give it back to the burning aura pump. So, let's head on back inside and let's make a few more of these, because, wow, we haven't wasted enough redstone yet. Let's take another flipping. We need at least 4 more, maybe 5 more. Let's see, how many more of these can we make? 4. Sure, let's take 4 for now. We might have to make, let's just make 5. Let's get 1 more redstone, and let's make 5. Thank you very much. We can make more redstone fairly easily over in the condenser. We'll throw you down like that. We'll surround you with glass panes, and we'll take you all, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. Okay, so, now, what we're going to do is, you'll see, like I said, we've explained this. Now what we need to do is we need to take the aura from these and pump them back around. So if we put one, that one's automatically going to give its aura back to this one. This one here, I'm going to put one down there. That's going to take the aura from this one, give it to this one, which is going to give it to this one, which is going to in turn share it with this one, which will send it back up. And we just need to make a loop that's going to allow all of these to come back. We'll put one there. That's, of course, going to share over there. And then we'll do a similar thing over here. We'll put down one there, and then we'll put down one here. That's going to take the aura from this one, share it with this one, along to this one, along to this one, and you get the idea. So this little loop, this little wacky system that we have just set up should work. And if we provide this thing with some aura, which it already has, we don't need to provide it with any more. It has 3,161 aura already. If we give it some fuel, this should start to work. So we'll put that down there. That won't despawn, and we'll let that work. That should start, you can see there, aura's being shared. It's in that one. It should in a second start to share with all the rest of them, I think. There we go. Aura's being shared. Aura should then start getting dropped any second now. You can see one of them is already receiving it. This one here is already getting some stuff. Hopefully the rest of these start to work sometime soon. This one, oh, there we go. There we go. That one's probably going to get the bulk of the aura, so that one's probably going to work first. But, as you can see, all of these are receiving power. And we have just created like a little loop system. Now, this is going to take a really long time, especially for all of the aura nodes apart from the first one. The first one can probably get 10,000 fairly quickly. The rest of them are probably going to take a while. We possibly could. We could probably make that a little fairer, but at the same time, it would probably cost more aura nodes. So for right now, I think this is going to work fine. And maybe once... Oh, I don't think that would change much. Yeah, no, I think this is fine. This is fine. One way that might have been fairer is if we put this, the burning aura pump, underneath this, so like maybe just like a few blocks above this, and kind of had the system like that, so the aura went straight up to the middle one there and then dispersed. That would probably work a little bit better, but that would involve moving all these, and I kind of like the fact that these are still working at the same time as well. So yeah, this is the basic of Aura Cascade. This is how you make some stuff here. We do have some sugarcane, so I would really quickly like to try and make the book, so I can kind of show you some of the other cool stuff that you can do with this, other than make rotten flesh. Rotten flesh is just the only one. Leather from rotten flesh is just the only one that I can remember. If we go ahead and research sugarcane, we should then be able to make unlimited sugarcane, which is going to be lovely because sugarcane is a pain to find. So let's take you. I wish there was a way to speed this up as well, but that's fine. It's not too bad. It's me being a little impatient. It's not that bad. I like this. I like the little animations you see of all this stuff kind of flying all over the place. Let's take you. Let's throw you in here. Boom, boom. Let's get some sugarcane. We need at least 3. Let's like put a piece of gold in. Get this flipping speeded up. There we go. Thank you. Let's go make ourselves... Oh, we need... Yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. That's also going to make us leather, but we do have a lot of cows around. So for us, the recipe there is not really all that useful. Is our leather in... Do we have any leather? We might not have any leather. Okay. Let's go grab a cow. I can see you over there, Mr. Cow. If you don't mind, I'm just going to come and procure your leather. One mod I really miss is Darkcraft. Darkcraft was in 1.6.4, and it made a set of... It allowed you to have a set of shears that let you shear cows for leather. It was really interesting. It was a pretty cool mod. A lot of people thought it was overpowered, but it's not been updated to 1.7, I don't think. Just a little side tangent there for me. Anyway, now we've got our leather, we should be able to make ourselves a book. Like so. Boom. And boom. And then if we combine that up with one of our crystals, that gets us this guy, the Encyclopedia Aura. And if we go ahead and look, I think we can kind of shift right click on these, or right click. Oh yeah, look, there we go. So there are quests in this, I believe. For making one of these, we get 8 iron as a quest. So we just, did we get that back, maybe? I don't know. I was playing in single player and I tried this, and it gave me it gave me the actual iron for like having this. I'm not sure if that's just something that's in. I don't know. Anyway, we don't need the iron. Anyway, does it have the Britannia function? Let's see. If we go to the index, this is what it looks like. It looks very similar to the Lexicon Britannia. If we look, which is the book from Britannia, by the way, for those who don't know. If we look under, let's see, is it power consumers? Yeah, here we go. Vortex infusion. And then if we go across a few pages, you can see this is how it's made. This is how you make that. And then you can see here, rotten flesh equals leather. You can turn blaze rods into blaze powder. You can make saddles. You can make eyes of ender. You can do all kinds of stuff. There are a bunch of recipes. Being able to turn sand into soul sand is actually really cool. That could be really useful for things like spawning withers and stuff like that, because you need a lot of soul sand. Overall, I think it's a pretty cool mod. That one is definitely like just using all of the juice and not going anywhere. But yeah, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to end the episode here. By the time we come back next episode, this might have completed. If it's too slow, I might go ahead and redo some stuff. I might move this to the top there, like I said, so all the auras kind of go to that middle one first, and then dispersing out to make it a bit more even. But for now, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like, leave a comment down below. I'll also put a link to my second channel if you haven't checked it out already. I do have a second channel where I play a bunch of other games. I'll put a link down below. I appreciate it very much if you would go check it out. But like I said, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.